What if I told you that the smallest bird on earth holds some of the biggest secrets, from daring dives for nectar to archaeological marvels of nest building? We're unlocking the hidden world of hummingbirds at Hobbs State Park in Conservation Area on Hummingbird Day.
Today's National Hummingbird Day.
Your
There's
birds.
so many hummingbirds here in North America
Well,
because not only are all the ones that came up through this spring, they're still here, but they've had all summer to have lots of little baby hummingbirds, so you can see tons and tons of them. I've been here watching the Hobbs State Park hummingbird feeders all afternoon. It's a little quiet there right now, but we've had like 3 or 4 of them there usually at any given time, so lots of fun stuff. You can even kind of hear them if you were here. I'm the education director for Wild Birds Unlimited in the shop, but then I also get to come out and do programs like this one. Today I'm at the Hobbs State Park National Hummingbird Day celebration. I'm here to share some really fun facts about hummingbirds and get everybody all jazzed up for peak hummingbird migration here in Northwest Arkansas. I feel so lucky and so happy every day that I get to share something I'm passionate about with other people that at least care a little bit about birds, if not a lot of it, you know? We are celebrating again the peak hummingbird migration. Right now we have more hummingbirds in North America than we do at any other point in the year. Not only do we have, mom and dad flew all the way up from Central and for some species, I think even South America to get here. The ruby throat is mostly like Central America. Not only do they all come up here for the summer, but then over the course of the summer, they're having all their babies. And so, the average hummingbird will have 2 clutches of 2 eggs per year. That means there's 4 more hummingbirds for every 2 that flew up here approximately. And so now they're all here and they're all starting their journey south for the winter time. Probably in about a month or so, we'll be just about done with hummingbirds for the season. It's always sad to see them go, but it's always so exciting to see them here, especially this time of year when they're just all over the place.
It's so fun to hear the sounds that they make, and I know for myself, when I go outside and I don't hear that sound anymore after they left, you miss it, don't you?
Yeah, it's like saying goodbye to a friend when they go away on a long vacation. You're like, I know you're coming back, but I still miss you. There's like an empty space. Like I always have to decide what feeder I'm going to put up in the place of my hummingbird feeder.
Right.
So
you have to have a different plan.
Thank goodness, fall migration doesn't stop with the hummingbirds. So we always have new species coming in. So we'll be getting a lot of our winter birds in about a month as well. So it's sad to see them go. It's a bittersweet
It
thing.
is bittersweet. Here's what I understand. I understand that right now they're fattening up to make the long journey, which is about 2,000 miles. Is that right?
Yeah, it depends on the individual hummingbird. Some of them, the ones from Canada are going to be traveling a lot farther than the ones in Texas.
That's true.
And like the 500 miles across the Gulf, they do that all in one trip. It takes about 20 hours. So that's a long stretch just doing all at once.
It is, and it's all water, so it's not like, hey, I'm going to stop and I'm going to take a break. And another thing that's interesting about that is that a lot of people think that they fly in flocks, that they're all together, but they're actually not. They go individually.
Yeah,
so can you share a little bit about that?
Hummingbirds are very much individuals, as I'm sure you've noticed at your feeders. They might end up flying kind of at the same time as someone, but that doesn't mean that they're associated with each other. Usually it only takes a couple weeks after the hummingbirds have left the nest that mom doesn't even care for them anymore. They're on their own at that point.
Yeah. One of the things that I heard is that the males leave first and the females stick back a little bit for the juveniles.
Yeah,
is that true?
Yeah, and especially the farther north you go, the more obvious it is. So I grew up in Vermont, and I remember the males would be gone, and it would take the females another week or 2 before they'd finally go too, as well as the young ones. I feel like it's a little bit harder to tell here in Arkansas. I don't notice it as much down here, but the males are definitely the first ones that come back in the spring, as I'm sure you've noticed that bright red throat first thing. That's the very first one that you
exactly
tend to see.
And it's always so exciting, and everybody is writing down the days. There's a place you could go where what's it called, Journey North, Journey North, where you can mark down where you've seen the first hummingbird, and it's always exciting to see the first one in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, Journey North, and then I also use Hummingbird Tracker. So there's 2 really good ones, and then you know, because I work in the shop, I get privy to the information that maybe people, you know, they see things, but they don't want to like post it online yet. So sometimes I hear about sightings even a week or two before they start getting posted. This year, our first hummingbird sighting in the Northwest Arkansas area was like mid-March.
Wow, so, that's early.
Yeah, and I've been finding like the last few years that I'm hearing about one about that time, but most people don't start reporting them until about early April.
Right.
So you got a couple, contrary to popular belief, they're not scouts. Because a lot of people think, a lot of people think that the scouts come first and like check everything out and then somehow send a message to the others about where the best food is. If hummingbirds had a walkie-talkie, I think that they would purposely mislead the other hummingbirds to go
just
somewhere
so they could get the food. You know, and speaking of that, hummingbirds are very territorial. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, so if you think about it, like a hummingbird's food source is like, you know, like one drop of nectar in a flower. If they find a flower that has like an endless food source, that's like they just hit the holy grail of food right there. So they're going to defend that thing with their lives. I've seen hummingbirds like grapple their feet together and roll around on the ground, and like you can audibly hear them slam into each other.
Yes.
And yet, you know, they're built so tough that they're able to withstand that.
We have a little hummingbird at our house, that a male that's watching the feeders, and he's watching for somebody that gets close, and it's fascinating to watch them. Nectar, how to make it the correct way.
Yes. Okay, so hummingbird nectar should always be 1 part white table sugar to 4 parts water. The white table sugar is really important. You don't want to use any other sweeteners. I know things like honey, maple syrup, like that natural brown sugar, those are all kind of better for us. But for the hummingbirds, they have a lot of minerals and stuff that the hummingbirds can't digest. Also, some of them will mold faster than white sugar, which with hummingbird nectar, when it gets to be 90 degrees, you should be changing it like every day or every 2 days usually. Sometimes you can go up to 3 days, but you really, you know, you don't get a lot of time per fill of your feeder, so you might as well make it count. I'll use this. It prolongs the life of your hummingbird nectar a little bit. There's a liquid that you can add to your sugar water that you're making at home, or if you just want to be able to just add water and go. It also comes in a powder form that has the sugar pre-mixed in with it, and in cooler weather it can go up to 2 weeks between changes. When it's warmer, it's like 3 to 5 days, but that's still way better than like every day or every couple days. You definitely want to just make sure when you have your hummingbird nectar, you're making sure that it's not getting cloudy, that you're not seeing any mold on the feeders, that there's not any bugs that have gotten in with your nectar. And then even still, you want to change it out every few days depending on what the temperature is. And you can find lots of resources online to kind of give you that time frame for that as well.
And some people think that they need to add red dye to their hummingbird nectar. So what do you say to that?
Yeah, so you do not need to add red dye to your nectar. Red color on your feeder is enough to draw them in. Plus, some studies are starting to come out that suggest that the red food dye in the long run might actually be harmful to the hummingbirds. And so the best thing you can do for you and for your hummingbirds is just go ahead and make that nice clear nectar. It makes it a lot easier to tell when you need to change it out too.
Well, thank you so much for visiting with us. We sure do appreciate it. We're going to take a look around. We're going to watch the hummingbirds a little bit. And
they're active.
And happy National Hummingbird Day.
Happy National Hummingbird Day.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a park interpreter here at Hobbs State Park, and today is National Hummingbird Day, so we're out here letting people know about these little feathered marvels and how they can help them as well. And I do have 2 hummingbird specimens right here. We've got a male and a female, and in the right light you can see the red feathers on the male. So that's called a gorget, and most male hummingbirds have some color there on their throat, and it's probably mostly just to show off and look nice for the females. It helps attract attention to them. And then they've got some green color on their back. I think you can see that pretty good there. The little female hummingbird that we've got here, you can see she's kind of in a different pose, but at the end of her beak, you can see actually that tongue. They have a very, very long tongue, that long beak, so they can reach down into the base of long tube-shaped flowers where they can reach the nectar. These both were ones that collided with windows.
Something interesting about hummingbirds, from what I understand, is they are birds that cannot walk. They have to perch. Is that right?
Yeah, they really don't walk at all.
You could really see the red right now.
Oh, good.
Right there. Look, and all it is just moving the camera. It's the way that the light catches the feathers, right?
Yep. Otherwise, when the light is not in the right position, it just looks black.
So, is it true that hummingbirds, when they flap their wings, they flap it in the shape of an 8?
Yes. Yeah. Most
explain
birds.
Explain how that works.
Well, it has to do with the socket for their bones, so how it can rotate. And yeah, of course, they're famous for being the only bird that really can fly backwards. And you think about it, they have to put their beak down into those tube-shaped flowers. Well, how are you going to get it out? So you got to be able to fly backwards. And
I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew they could fly backwards, but I never knew why they evolved to be able to fly backwards.
Mm-hmm.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about hummingbirds?
Just their colors.
The colors?
And yeah, having been fortunate enough to travel and see other hummingbird species, this is just the ruby-throated hummingbird, the only one we have here in Arkansas. Normally, except during maybe some migration, some other species might accidentally pass through.
Possibly,
Yeah.
right. I'm hoping that will happen to me someday.
Yeah.
But
Their colors are just really outstanding.
So
I
how
like
many
color.
species have you seen? Now you've piqued my curiosity.
Oh, I haven't really counted the number of species, but yeah, in the desert Southwest, down in southern Arizona, around Tucson, there are some species that only just barely come up into the United States from Mexico.
Really?
So the calliope hummingbird.
Oh,
is,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and you see purple on their
Mm-hmm.
throat, and purple's one of my favorite colors.
That's nice. And the tropical hummingbirds, oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. And not only are they small, some are bigger in stature, but some of them have the really long tails,
Yep.
which makes them really beautiful. Are the long tails for navigating? Is that what they're for, or is that for attracting mates, or do you know?
I'm not exactly sure. I know that there are some bird species that long tail feathers actually can make sound. So as the air passes through them, it makes a certain sound.
That is so cool.
I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. It may just be courtship related. Look at my big long tail fethers.
I know. I
how
have the
fancy
best
they are.
tail feathers.
Right, kind of like a peacock.
Yeah.
Wanting to show off.
Well, tell us just a little bit about your park here.
So this is Hobbs State Park Conservation Area, and we're the largest state park in Arkansas, over 12,000 acres. So, it is also the only one that has conservation area as part of its name. So our mission is to provide enriching educational and recreational experiences in harmony with resource stewardship. So we take seriously being able to take care of the resources here in our park, from the forest, the plants, down to even the smallest bird, the hummingbirds here. They're all an important part of the ecosystem, and we want people to know about them and appreciate them, and also know how they can help take care of them.
And you do have many educational programs. I like to come up for is it birds and breakfast?
Yes, we do offer birds and breakfast. Yeah, we are considered an educational park, also a nature park. So that is a big part of our mission. We see all different people of different ages and backgrounds, and offer lots of different programs. Some of my favorite are where we get out on the water. We get to take kayak trips out on the lake,
yeah.
and get to see and hear all kinds of nature out there. So
that is
it's a lot
so
of
fun, and it is a beautiful park. And we thank you so much for sharing everything with us, especially about our hummingbird friends. Thank you so much.
Bye.